Hey guys, it's Spaces Sims, and we are back with more Dairoku. Anyway, we were in the middle of our party, and we stopped because, like, holy fuck, that part went freaking forever. We normally do that at the end, and now we're in the middle. We were in the middle of the scene, but we stopped here because it was kind of like after we were talking about Shiratsky, and we made that choice. Ha ha ha! He's the one I have relations with. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Not sexy like that, but sexy like that. Anyway, and it kind of like branched back into a subsection in the chapter, and that's where we stopped. So I think it was like In Full Swing was the title of this, where the branch came back into this part, or this scene within the chapter, if you want to call it. So anyway, it'll be like 2 lines and we'll be done, but that part was like 20 minutes over. So this is supposed to be your party, but all we're doing is talking about work. At the very least, I hope it was helpful. Oh yes, thank you so much. I'm grateful to get advice from everyone.
Moving along, Tadashi. So, the person you want to get in good with is Kinka, isn't it?
What? We're bringing that up again?
Oh. Duh. There's no need to hide it from her. If you and Kinka don't work out, I somehow doubt your report about it'll be very good.
That's a pretty good point. Huh? How did you know about that, Chief? I always revise my reports before I submit them.
It'd be a waste to keep it all to myself. Spacey, you should go see one too. Let me go get it.
No! Poor fucking... Poor Yakumo. I like the fact, too, that I keep switching because, like, Sammy calls him Tadashi and we call him Yakumo, and I just switch back and forth to calling him Tadashi or Yakumo myself. Like, I can't stick with one or the other. Like, I realized that in the last part. I'm like, wait, I just called him Tadashi, and the next sentence is Yakumo. Like, whatever, it's the same thing. Same person, but I just love how everybody rags on this poor man. Oh, don't ever change, Yakumo. Please don't. God, don't. I need you to stay like this forever. What are they even talking about? Back to our happy drinking, CG. I felt like I should have held it in, but I couldn't help but burst out laughing. I really found a wonderful place to work. Seeing Sammy and Yakumo joke around with each other while Chief Tokiwa watched on with a warm smile made me feel so lucky. I'm so excited to work with all of you. I spoke the words deep in my heart, remembering the sound of our glasses clinking together. Yeah, so that was the scene. So we absolutely could have just done that in the last part. I knew that look, if we had kept going, it would have still been going. Tokitaka? Chapter... Oh, we're in chapter 2 already! Tokitaka. Oh my god, we made it to chapter 2, guys. This would have been the perfect place to end the last part. What the fuck? It would have been like, oh, we're gonna start chapter... Anyway, it's fine. We started this part in chapter 2. But, like, if I had continued, it would have been 20 minutes, and we would have been like, it's a 2-hour part. I guess I'm gonna have to edit this. Like, but because I stopped, it's 3 fucking lines. It's the way it always happens. Anyway. The next day, just pretend that last 2 minutes happened in the last part. Shh. Hey guys, we're back with more! Okay. I'm so relieved I'm not hungover. I felt waves of gratitude as I worked at my desk. The sake from Sakuratani was just so delicious that I couldn't help myself. The sake was good, but it was a bad idea to drink so much. I don't want it to affect my work. I like the fact that she's like, it's like water, but slightly sweet. So it's like sugar water? That doesn't sound very good. Like, I like water, but I also don't know if I want to just dump sugar in, like... It seems strange that it was considered, like, sugary water. I guess that's not really what they meant, but it just seems very odd.
Hey, Spacey, do you have a minute?
Oh, yes. Who is this? I walked over and saw a young man smiling next to him. This is my little brother. You know what the weirdest thing is? I was like, I was thinking that in my brain. I'm like, why does he look like Sammy? He's like got the dark hair, and I'm pretty sure Sammy's eyes are blue based on the cards, which again, I've packed away. And And it's his fucking brother. I should have known. I think I kind of knew. I wish I had said it out loud. Oh, Tokitaka. Okay, that's his brother. No, it's gonna be so hard because it's Tokitsugu and Tokitaka, and they're both Samey, and I'm never gonna know who the fuck is who. Shit, I'm always gonna read it in the wrong voice. Nice to meet you. I'm Tokitaka Samey. I'm from the Occult Bureau, Division 1. He's just gonna have a normal kind of voice because, like everyone else, because I don't got enough voices. And I can't do another accent. Wait, what did he say? Oh, Division 1, that's what it was. Division 1, an office of the Occult Bureau. The first oversees the Kanto region. Cool. Good to know. Wait, Samey, I didn't know you had a brother. Hi, I'm Spacey Akitsu. Okay, that's Tokitaka. It's gonna be so hard because our names are too fucking similar. My brothers told me about you. You're the new rising star he recruited. Oh, please. I smiled and shook my head at his kind words, even if he was just saying that to be friendly. Oh, the brother's gonna be like friendly and flirty with us, and Samey's not gonna like it at all, and he's gonna get real jealous. You can't fall in love with my brother because I love you. In his route. I see what's gonna happen. Anyway. What a nice guy. I get the impression that he's a lot gentler than Samey. See? And I'm gonna be like, I have to stop and do Tokitsugu. Okay.
Tokitaka might be the top dog at the first, but he's still my little brother. You know, he's got the chops to work at the 6th, too.
Wow. I'm not that talented. Don't believe my brother. He tends to exaggerate.
Hey, that's no exaggeration. I mean that. When you got some time, you should ask him to teach you a spell or two, okay?
Come on, you're always so pushy. And I like the fact that he's got a mole too, because like Samey's got one by his eye and he's got one by his mouth. Like, that's so funny. That they were like, okay, dark hair, the bright blue eyes, but also give them both a mole. He rolled his eyes the way a brother would. This must be their usual dynamic. You don't usually see Samey like this. Well, I'd still like to learn a few spells if you have the time. Having two Sameys around would be weird, huh? Please, call me Tokitaka. You got it, Tokitaka. It's gonna be so hard to say. Tokitaka doesn't flow off the tongue very nicely. Anyway. By the way, my brother's better with spells. I don't think there's a lot I could teach you. His smile was refreshing. Samey's so hard to read. Tokitaka seems to be the complete opposite. He really makes a good impression. There was some shade in that. Samey's really hard to read. Tokitaka seems actually very nice. Shade, Samey. Shade.
So, did you come by for that Oni from the real world? He's living a peaceful life now.
Ah, I'm glad to hear that. I took him to the Kokuromon. I don't know why Kokuromon. I have to stop and think about that one. And I have to be like, wait, that's the gate thingy, but I can't, I don't know, anyway. I took him to the Kokuromon, but another squad called me for backup, so I had to leave the rest to Kosaka. Kosaka? Who's Kosaka? I came by to get the Mizumaru and take Kosaka out for a meal in the realm of the dead. Those who turn into Oni are escorted to Nakakuni by the Occult Bureau. After the chief and the assigned squad leader convene, the Oni is taken to its new home. I remember Samey teaching me how to issue a certificate of residence and sign a lease. Other documents need to be processed in Nakakuni, so even if an Ayakashimori met them at the gate, the escort would still need to be processed. Given that policy, I could tell that Kosaka was someone special. Girlfriend? Boyfriend?
Oh, so you're out here having some food with one of your colleagues, huh? Here, I thought you were going to treat me.
I had a feeling you'd say that. Let's go next time. Spacey, you should come. We can invite Yakumo too. Kosaka must have been really close to Tokitaka. I still don't know all the names of people from other divisions. I have no idea who he is. It could be a she-girl.
Sounds good. Tokitaka's a good cook, and that's why he always picks the best restaurants.
Wow, I can't wait. Don't talk me up too much. Anyway, I'm off to Kosaka's. I'll be seeing ya. Unless Kosaka's the Oni that they're talking about. And he said he's doing fine or whatever. Anyway. He smiled and walked toward General Affairs. Kosaka must be from the General Affairs Bureau. I I've been to the archive department before, but never general affairs. Archive Bureau. The bureau that manages Securitani's historical records and archiving Ayakashi Mori reports. Archive Bureau, where they archive things in a bureau. What was the other one? General Affairs. Okay, right. General Affairs. This department manages general affairs. I'm just kidding. That's not what it says. It's like shit like that when there's something that's really confused. You're like, what is that? And they don't tell you. And then there's things like 6. 6 is a number. It comes after 5. And you're like, what the fuck? Why are you telling me this? This department manages mission critical items and equipment, such as forms or shinsatsu. Shinsatsu. They don't tell me what the fuck shinsatsu is, so I have no idea. Like, I don't know. There are a lot of people over there, and I don't know if I have the opportunity to talk to them. More importantly, and I feel like if they said, like, archive or general whatever the fuck it was, you were like, you wouldn't need to explain that to me. You can kind of just assume, you can infer. You're like, okay, the archive bureau is where they keep all the documents. That's the file people. They're the file clerks. They file shit. They archive shit. And then the general division? Or general affairs. They do the other general affair things. Generally. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't need an actual glossary entry for that. But then they give you freaking other things like the Zashiki, whatever the fuck it was, the huge long word that was whatever it was that was playing with freaking Akudo, and you're like, the fuck is that? Maybe explain that to me. It did it later. It might have later explained it to me, but it didn't at the time, so. Anyway. That introduction was a bit of a surprise. He was actually very kind. Compared to who? Compared to you. He doesn't just go saying things to bother other people like you're doing now. I love the way we sass him. It's good. It's true, though, because when he's like, compared to who? I'm thinking, compared to you. But, like, is she going to say it? And she did. High five.
Oh, you're getting good at talking trash. Time for me to take it up a notch, eh?
Please don't. He's in a good mood. They must be pretty close. Just then, a tall and thin man I assumed to be Kosaka returned with Tokitaka. I see you, brother. Bye for now, Spacey. All right, have a good day. As I said that, I bowed to Tokitaka and Kosaka. Ooh, Chapter 2, Other Departments. General Affairs is responsible for processing our paperwork, right?
Don't let them hear you say that.
Hey, I'm still learning my own job. I haven't gotten around to what all the other bureaus do.
General Affairs manages equipment and comms with the real world, and they prepare our workspace, too.
Yakumo said the Divine Seal Shinsatsu is under General Affairs, so I might see them often. Aha! The Divine Seal is Shinsatsu. Now I get that. But they were like, it does this! And you're like, what the fuck is Shinsatsu? Now we know what Shinsatsu is. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. See? You're sitting there telling me, like, they deal with critical items and equipment, like Shinsatsu. The fuck is that? And now you tell me. It's not in here. What? Wait, it's not in here. Where is Shinsatsu? Do you see it? Do you see it? Why is it not under S? Okay, I'm very confused, game. Why would you put this under Ofuda and not Shinsatsu when you called it Shinsatsu in the game, but it's also known as that? That is... What the fuck is this? Anyway, Ofuda. And Ofuda is one of the most important seals of the gods that can be granted by a shrine in order to seal away certain Ayakashi. Although they are called Ofuda, they are sometimes known as Shinsatsu, like we've said in the game 14 times, and then we just decided to put it in the glossary under Ofuda just to go tell you to go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Okay, wow.
Yeah, but if you go too much, you'll annoy them. Oh, we should probably wrap up our break. It's time to make our rounds.
Okay. I haven't been to General Affairs yet since I don't often use the apprehension spell, but maybe I can visit for equipment or document issues. Having Making some acquaintances there would make my life easier, so I'll try to swing by sometime.
What you doing? Hi! You're on the wrong shoulder.
Chapter 2, Close Call. A little while after speaking with Tokitaka, I went out on patrol after Yakumo got back. Good. Kikutsune is so peaceful today. Huh? That looked like fire. A pillar of fire shot up from underground. St. Elmo's fire? It's cool. Looks neat. Okay. Alright, I get it. There's fire. The first flame shocked me, and soon enough, flames were shooting out from everywhere. For a moment, I thought I was hallucinating, but I was wrong. This was very real. A fire's gonna break out at this rate, especially because everything is probably wood. Koya! I called out to him, and he revealed himself. I forgot his voice. Right. Koya looked annoyed, but he was able to extinguish the fire within seconds. Sorry, Koya. Thank you for... Koya disappeared before I could finish. He left without a word, as usual. I was sure he had his reasons for not wanting anyone to see him, but I still felt lonely. Now isn't the time for that. Who was behind those flames? Oh. As I was looking around me, my eyes landed on a group of snickering kitsune. It's them. The little kitsune were skittering about, but I had Koya come back to get them all.
Let me go! I said let me go!
Ugh. They were so quick it was hard to catch them, but somehow I managed to do it. Why did you do that?
We didn't do anything! We were only watching is all!
Your eyes were so round and scared, it was hilarious! Punch them. Just fucking punch them. Even if they claimed to be innocent, it was clear they enjoyed seeing people startled. They've gotta be the culprits. I didn't want to jump to conclusions, but they were the only ones here. If one of these buildings went up in flames, you'd be in danger. Pranks can be fun, but don't play with fire, okay?
But we didn't do anything!
Yeah, if you don't believe us, I can show you what real flames look like. I'll show you what a real fist looks like. This isn't the time for spells. Yeah! From seemingly out of nowhere, a fireball came flying toward me. Oh no. I quickly tried to defend myself, but it was too late. The next thing I knew, I was ducking for cover. Shiratsky scolding. Oh.
Hey, don't overdo it. If you want to play around, find a tanuki.
Shiratsky showed up. He took a light swing right at the big flame. To my surprise, it turned into a kitsune kid who fell to the ground. An enchantment? I wasn't prepared for this at all. They totally got me, so he just pretended to be a fireball hurtling at your face, and if it hit you, you would have just been slapped in the face with an actual kitsune child. You literally almost got hit in the face with a child. Okay, I want to let that sink in. 'Cause what the fuck? Thank you, Shiratsky. You saved me from getting hit in the face with a literal child.
It's nothing. These kids have been very busy lately. I don't like to be strict, but I believe this may actually call for a bit of punishment.
No! Shiratsky picked up one by the collar, and the kitsune kid started to flail about.
Shiratsky, we really didn't do it!
Yeah, I don't even know how to make a flame.
It was just a little enchantment.
All the kitsune kids around us were desperately pleading their innocence. Like, even if they didn't do the other flames, the third child hurled himself at me pretending to be a fireball. Slap him!
What will we do with them? Miss Maisie, if I give them a good talking to, do you think you can forgive them today?
I think I could.
Yeah! Oh, yay!
I nodded and undid the spell, then the kitsune ran off before I could say anything to them. I had some mixed feelings as I watched them run off. I'm sorry, Shiratsky. Maybe those kids weren't the culprits I was looking for after all.
Perhaps. However, Ayakashi always lie to get out of trouble. Seeing lies as a bad thing is historically a human concept.
You have a point. Maybe Ayakashi really just like to trick people and have fun. Well, it's just that I feel like they were being honest with you.
Oh?
I could see why they'd play around with me, but since Shiratsuki was the Shirei, it seemed less likely they could ever deceive him. I'm sure the kids had no desire to get caught lying to him and face punishment. Maybe this is just because I'm unable to lie to Ayakashi. Shiratsuki, what do you think I can do to have better control over the Ayakashi? His eyes squinted as he pondered my question. I quickly realized how arrogant I sounded. I'm sorry, control might be a rude word to use. I know the Ayakashi here have their own free will, no different from humans.
It isn't rude. It's the job of an Ayakashi Mori.
Yeah, but saying that I should have control makes it sound like humans and Ayakashi aren't equal.
Oh, so humans and Ayakashi are equal, huh?
What are we even talking about? I just wanted to ask him for advice.
Perhaps humans are anxious by nature, although it could just be you.
What do you mean by that?
If you're going to be worried either way, I suppose I can be of some help to you.
Without answering my question, Shiratsuki smiled like a mischievous child. Common Route Chapter 2 with Shiratsuki.
I don't know what it is to be an Ayakashi Mori, but I do know that I've seen so many of you over the years being stressed and worried.
I could hear melancholy in his voice, but he still wore a warm smile as he spoke. I'm sure he's seen a lot as the Shirei. Ayakashi have lived in Sakuratani for a long time. They've seen many Ayakashi Mori come and go. I'm sure there were a few like me before. Can you just imagine, like, Ayakashi are like dogs. They're like, oh look, look at my owner, it's so cool. And then they watch them just grow really, really old. Oh no, wait, dogs are the ones that grow really old fast. Never mind. Ayakashi Mori are the dogs. Wait, I got that reversed for a second. You know, it's because I'm looking at him and he's got ears. I'm not very bright right now. But we're basically dogs. So, we're the Ayakashi's dogs. They're like, look, it's a cute new puppy, and it grows old and dies so fast. And then we get a new puppy, and then it grows old and it dies. Because they like watch us come in and they're like, new, like me, I'm a fresh pup. Like, oh, brand new puppy, pet on head, it's so cute. And then he's going to watch me as I get older and older and older and maybe die on the job because I'm too old. And now it's time for me to retire. Grandma's getting on in age. And he just looks the same. It's going to be really weird for our romance is all I'm saying. You know, because, you know, they're like vampires. They don't age. It's sad. And we will. Anyway. So, yeah. They've seen many Ayakashi Mori come and go. I'm sure there were a few like me before. Okay.
You're currently struggling to reckon with the idea of control, yes?
Huh? The Ayakashi Mori's role is to watch over Ayakashi here in Sakuratani. I don't struggle with that.
You can't help separate Ayakashi from humans. You may have an understanding about humanity, but you don't know what it means to be an Ayakashi.
Oh. He makes a good point. My knowledge of them comes from the libraries in Nakakuni. Everything I know about them has come from books written by humans.
See us, and look at us. We can talk to each other, but if you keep separating us, you'll never know. It's difficult to know all of the Ayakashi, but I encourage you to choose one, and know them. You might just begin to learn something.
I see.
Why don't you start with me?
Huh? I do appreciate his wisdom, but... Shiratsuki's a Shirei. This is just weird. Didn't we say before that we wanted to get to know him, though? So it's like... It's really not. And it's totally in line with what you wanted and what you said at your party.
Why the hesitation?
A Shirei tending to my anxiety feels excessive, but maybe I could learn about how he thinks. I felt a sort of guilty gratitude about it. When we were discussing the Shikigami contract, Chief Tokiwa did share some words of caution. But the chief also said that I should talk to Shiratsuki and try to get to know him, too. Maybe I should see what this is all about. Okay, I'll take you up on your offer.
You could have just said that from the start.
Oh, his tail is wagging. Actually, you know what I want to say? After we made our choice... It's still common route. Interesting, though. But see, I feel like the common route does change here, though, because we made the Shiratsky choice. Actually, no, we didn't. Everyone. Interesting. It's weird how... Oh, okay. Because this conversation... We made the conversation... No. We said Shiratsky, right? And then blah, blah, blah. And we stopped. And In Full Swing is where we started here. Where it was like, okay, everyone's having fun. And then the next day, right? Where we started chapter 2. So it's not even like the point about where the chief was advising us. That was directly related to Shiratsky. So that would be like if we were up here and we chose Akuro, he'd be like, oh, you should talk to him, blah, 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 blah. Same thing. And then it'd be like, okay, well, this is your party. Great. Have fun. And then those 2 sentences would have happened. But if we said everyone, it wouldn't have happened. That's interesting. Huh. But it's also interesting that this is direct. It's still the common route. But there's just so much happening with Shiratsky. And I bet anything, all of these would be different depending on who you chose. So again, the flowchart is very strange. It shows you certain choices, but not other ones. Because I would bet that when we choose someone else, when we get to chapter 2 here, like, we might still have the same scenes with Sami's brother and everything, but this would be different. We'd see whichever one we picked. So it is different, and yet it's not. Unless it's because the flowchart's only showing what we've done so far. That could be it. All right. Look, we don't usually do flowcharts, so how they work sometimes is like, it's been a long time! Anyway. Oh! His tail is wagging. Maybe Kitsune are like dogs, and their tails wag when they're happy. Shiratsky seems very pleased right now. We're more like dogs because we die fast compared to them. But they do have the tails and the ears. Anyway. And he is a fox, and a fox is probably more like a dog than it would be a cat, so... Anyway.
And then let's go. Follow me.
Fade away. Ooh, in a new place. The backgrounds are very monochromatic and a little dull. You know? There's interesting things in them, you know? Like the interesting recessed blocks with there's light, but there's nothing in them, and like that cool cushy round dog bed over there. Doesn't it look like a cat bed or something, but just ginormous? I kind of want a ginormous bed like that. You know, but then you have like a little, but you need the little curtain so you can close it, and then it's just like your fucking bed bubble. I want a fucking bed bubble. But like, I always wanted a 4-poster bed that had like the curtains on it. I don't have one. Still, I should get one. Always wanted one as a kid. Always wanted one. Always thought it was like, because you'd see the movies, you're like, yeah, oh, that's so like extravagant, and that's got the curtains, and it just felt so like, you just like close the curtains and like sleep in your Ebenezer Scrooge bed. I don't, anyway. But the backgrounds here, they're very, because like everything's like a grayish purple color, so it's just kind of bland. So like after a while, you're like, it's kind of bland. Like, and I get it, like the colors are very muted and soft. Every once in a while, there's like a bright color, but for the most part, they're very like in a very similar muted kind of color palette. But the backgrounds are a little like grayish. Again, it's like a purple color, but they're dull. They're a little dull. You're like, oh, yeah, there's not much happening here. So, a lot of detail, but just not a lot of color. So, it's a weird, you're like, lots of things are happening. I mean, there's not a ton of detail, but there's something. It's not just a wall, but it's very kind of like, oh, it's a background. Meanwhile, Cupid Parasite, which is just, everything is bright colors! Everything is literally fucking neon and in your face. So, I mean, it's kind of interesting that I'm pretty sure at this point, yeah, no, these are the games going up at the same time. Look, I record things in different orders, so, but yes, this is going up after Olympia Soiree, so yes, we're playing Cupid Parasite in tandem with this, so like, I haven't, obviously, as I've been playing this, haven't played that one, but as soon as there's also going to be a break because I'm going to have to move and shit, but like, when I go back and forth, I'm going to be like, holy shit! Because there might be a point where I have to do what I don't like doing, and then I play a couple parts of this, and then I play a couple parts of that, and then I play a part of this and a part of that, and I go back and forth. Which is what I used to do, and then it used to get really confusing. As if I don't already, after 24 hours, forget what the fuck happened. But then I put another game in between, and then it's like, really, what happened? So I like to record a route of one game, and then go to a route of the next game, and then go route game A, and then route of game B, and then route of game A. Like, go back and forth like that. This way it's more cohesive in my brain. Might not be able to do that after moving. Because, you know, I gotta make sure everything's balanced and we're not behind on anything. But if I have to do that, it's gonna be really fucking jarring to be like, okay, we're here, and everything's really muted, and then Cupid Parasite, and everything's like on fire in your eyes. I'm just saying, it's gonna be weird. Be prepared for that in like probably 3 parts from now, when I'm like, oh my god, I was right. I don't know where we are and how far I'm gonna get before I actually fucking move, but anyway. I'm probably actually at this point already moved. Yay! But I have to record as much as I can before I move so that, like, we get into kind of April-ish, so that mid-March, when everything's settled and I'm kind of, like, in my new place and, like, my vacation's over and whatever, I can sit down and start recording again, like, mid to end of March, and not be like, shit, I gotta record this, gotta go up tomorrow! I have at least a week to 2-week buffer. I'm trying to give myself, like, a 3-week buffer? It's going to be kind of close, depending on how much of this we can record, but we'll see. Anyway, so I might have already moved by now. It might be the end of March-ish right now, so I might already be in my new place, but still have a little bit of time before I'm there. Anyway, I can't help but wonder what's next. Oh, we were there for a second. Oh, hi. Oh, and this is a totally different type of gray. Oh, okay, this is like an over thing. Shunatsky told me to follow him, but he's just walked into Tamamo's store. I thought we might have tea at Tamamo's, but he just started juggling a ball he found really fast until Tamamo kicked him out. Kitsune kids on the street surrounded us. I played a bunch of different games with them until I was absolutely exhausted. The kids wanted to keep playing, but we fled to Takamonomiya. Takamonomiya. Yeah, I said that right, okay.
No more.
He took me by the hand and we walked to the far end of the mansion. Shunatsky, Before I could ask anything, he opened a huge door to an even bigger room. In the middle of it was a giant rug and a low sofa.
I'm tired. We should rest. How about a nap?
He quickly sunk into a circular bed that was outfitted with a dome-shaped canopy. Yeah, it's like a pet bed. Which kind of fits him being like a fox. I sat on top of the bed, waiting for Shunatsky to wake up, but his grip on my hand is so tight, I'm worried I'll wake him if I move it. I didn't know what to do. I checked my watch and realized it was 1 a.m. in the real world. Wow, it's already been an hour. I have to return to the office. They knew I was in Kikutsune with Shunatsky, but I was at Takamonomiya instead of on patrol. I was at Takamonomiya instead of on patrol. Spacey can't read words. I can't report I've just been watching him nap. Sorry, Shunatsky, but you have to get up. I tapped his shoulder to little effect. Shunatsky, I really have to go back to work, so please wake up. I called to him loudly and shook his shoulders.
Coco, a little more.
He thinks I'm Coco. Ugh. I felt a little guilty about it, but I let go of his hand and got up. My shuffling made Shunatsky roll over.
Ouch! Huh? What the?
The canopy frame collapsed right onto his face, waking him up pretty quickly. Sorry about that. Are you okay?
Spacey, what are you doing here?
He was in total daze, and I stood up from the bed. I've got to get back to the office, but I'll come back soon, okay?
Oh, that's right. We played with the kids. Tamamo got mad, and we've been here napping.
Well, you were napping. His memory came back after a quick stretch.
I'm sorry to keep you. Were you just here while I slept?
I honestly got so tired playing with the kids, so I was resting a bit myself.
Why don't I make it up to you? Anything you want.
Oh, I don't need you to do anything for me. I was just trying to get to know everyone better after the advice you gave me.
I insist. After all, you played with me and the children earlier until you were exhausted.
I guess it would be rude to keep denying him. I want to think about it and just snuggle him. That's ballsy. Please be the right answer. I mean, I feel like we're in the Shiratsky route, right? Well, okay. We're at least on our way there. It says the common route, but I mean, come on. I'll tell you later. Let me snuggle you. I'm surprised that didn't come up before. Snuggle him. Ooh! We got fire! I'll take you up on your offer. Do you mind if I touch your tail, Shiratsky?
My tail?
I couldn't help but laugh, seeing the look of confusion on his face. That is not snuggling, that's petting him. It's different. Sorry, it's so fluffy. I just wanted to see how it felt. There was something fascinating about Shiratsky's, Koko's, Tamamo's, and Kinka's ears and tails.
Is that all?
Yes, I have to admit I'm kind of excited with anticipation.
I almost hoped you'd ask for something else.
Something else? This would be more than enough for me. He's like,
I want more than that.
He turned his back to me, offering his tail. I was almost surprised by how it felt. It's so fluffy and smooth. The more my fingers ran across it, the more impressed I was. His tail swung about. That is not snuggling him. That is like, pet him. Like,
it tickles.
Oh, sorry. I let go right away, but this is actually like, I just kind of enjoy it. Like, can I pet your tail? And he's like, what? And you're like, I've never met a person with a tail. I mean, you're an Ayakashi, but like, still, can I just pet it? And then you're like, ah! Petting his fluffy tail, and he's just like, there's just something like, it's not like kinky or anything, but it's just kind of like adorable and like oddly like, it's not romantic or sexy or anything. But it's not like, oh, wholesome. It's not really wholesome. There's just like, I mean, there could be a wholesomeness like petting a dog. It's wholesome. But like, this is like we're petting the tail of the man we're going to fall in love with. There's like, it's a weird area where you're like, I'm not sure what to call it. Because it's not wholesome and it's not sexy. But it's like, kind of like in a weird gray area between those things. Anyway, I let go right away.
Pardon me. I just get a little ticklish there.
Does that happen to other kitsune too? I've never come across this in my readings. His tail is ticklish. That's adorable.
Some. For me, the tail. For Koko, the ears. I'm not sure about Tamamo or Kinka.
I'm actually glad he doesn't know. It would spell trouble if he knew where to target Tamamo and Kinka. Everyone has a weakness, huh?
Well, you do too, don't you? Even poking the dog's sides makes him squeal.
You mean Yakumo? I was curious as to how he knew that, but I figured that Seimi was likely involved. About the event.
But you sure are different.
You think so? Oh my god. Norton! Fuck off! Jesus, your pop-ups are irritating. I need Norton to block my Norton pop-ups.
Most people in this situation would ask me to be their Shikigami.
Shiratsky had a strange look on his face. He seemed perplexed, but at the same time, I couldn't help but think he was happy. You already know I don't want that. You shouldn't force yourself into a contract.
Is that so?
Yep, a Shikigami contract should only be signed with mutual consent. Both parties would need to agree before it can be approved by the chief.
I already said yes to it.
Look at his eyes right now. He's like, there's something about the look on his face is just so fucking suspicious. But both parties need to consent. Even if you've already said yes, I haven't. I don't think you're actually serious about signing a contract with me anyway. Besides, I don't even have the skills I need to be able to work with you.
I think I'm beginning to understand. So, you think you have me figured out?
I thought about it. No. I knew that Sharatsky's advice was incredibly important. Spending time with Sharatsky was illuminating. If I continued seeing him, I could probably learn to connect with and manage the others, as an Ayakashi Mori should. No, not at all. I still have a lot to learn about everyone. Would it be okay if I visited you again?
Anytime. It's always fun to see you. Oh, I have some great advice for you.
Great advice?
In order to deal with your anguish, I recommend you throw an event.
An event?
We're not sure if the fire incident today was caused by those kids, or something else. And there's a chance the Ayakashi can't suppress their powers, causing them to act like this.
They can't suppress their powers? Sakuratani and the real world are two sides of the same coin. They affect each other. I wonder if this is all going to be okay.
When we held rituals in the past, the balance stabilized, but now there's just too much energy. Pranks by children are one thing, but this could also be the reason why so many Ayakashi are fighting lately.
Will throwing an event really help things?
Absolutely, and there are many to choose from. We've had sumo events and even dance parties. And not only can we relieve ourselves of the burden of power, but they're pretty fun in and of themselves. And you should ask Sammy about it.
I see. So they're more functional than anything else, for the purpose of releasing energy. I understand. Thank you. I would have never thought to do that. I'm glad I was able to consult with you, Sharatsky. Yeah, because, I mean, if you think about it as a human, you're like, yes, oh, if you have a dance party, oh, you dance and you expend energy, but you're not like, I have so much actual energy, and oh my god, there's fire and there's all this weird shit, and let's throw a party. That's not really where your mind goes, because you're like, shit is kind of getting, like, unstable here. You're not like, let's throw a party! You know? I mean, I guess in certain situations where you're like, we're all gonna die, it's the end of the world, might as well throw a party. But, you know, the first thing you're thinking, that's basically you're like, I have nothing better to do because we're all going to die, so let's throw a party, I guess. But most people wouldn't be like, woohoo, party time! You know? And we're kind of at this, like, unstable place where, like, there's all this weird stuff, and you wouldn't think, if I'm feeling unstable, say as a person, you're like, oh my god, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, you wouldn't be like, oh, it's because I got extra energy, I need to... So, like, human beings wouldn't be like, huh, there's all this energy out there, it's unstable, and things are getting weird. And there's all this tension. Let's throw a party so they can release their energy. Because we don't, like, it doesn't work that way for humans. You know what I mean? Like, we build energy, but not that much. We're like, I'm building up so much energy, I'm just going to punch people. That's aggression that builds up, not energy. You know, like, anyway.
Don't mention it. However, and now I know the only way to make you smile is by giving you information.
That's not true. I had a lot of fun playing with everyone today, and your tail was also very nice. I had a lovely time with Sharatsky, getting to see what his tail felt like, laughing and having fun through it all. I mean, I just feel like there's a little bit of intimacy with petting his tail. That's kind of where I was going. It's like cute. You're like, that's adorable. There's a little bit of intimacy going on here. It's not like super sexy, but it's like, a little bit more than friends. You don't usually pet your friends. Just saying.
Well, leave it to me. If I keep this up, maybe you'll make me your Shikigami one day.
There you go again. That's not gonna happen. But yes, please know that I'm counting on you. Probably will become a Shikigami, I'm just saying.
You're saying that... Oh, you're saying that it's just making me want to try to appeal to you even more.
Sharatsky's tail was swaying once again as he considered all of the possibilities. It's gonna wrap that tail around you when you're having sex. It's gonna be weird. Map select one. Oh no! There's a thing here! Shit! Well, I don't know if this is where we're going, but I assume. Map. Go to Kikutsune, Sharatsky. Ooh, apprehension. No. Do we ever do the apprehensions? I mean, I'm okay with not doing them, but like, do we need to? Maybe later. Yes. All right. We might stop this part a little bit early because we went a lot over last time, so. A little while ago, Sharatsky asked if we could both go on patrol together. Oh, waiting for Sharatsky. That was the title of the subsection. Sorry. But with my luck, it'll be like, and then it's 10 minutes over again. It's fine. Anyway, a little while ago, Shirotsky asked if we could both go on patrol together. I didn't know why he made that suggestion, but maybe after seeing each other so many times, he'd come to like me. Thinking that would mean I'm full of myself, I had no reason to turn him down and was grateful for it, so we agreed to patrol Kikutsune together. Today was the day we agreed on. I was supposed to have gone on my patrol with Shirotsky by now, but 10 minutes have passed, but he's still not here. Maybe he got our meeting time wrong. Or maybe he forgot what we agreed on completely. No, I mean, that would be fine, but I hope he isn't caught up in any trouble. It was always tough when I couldn't just contact someone like I could in the real world. He plays games on mobile devices, so this won't happen next time if I just get Shirotsky's contact information. I did make my promise with Shirotsky, but was still on the job. I had to go on my patrol. What should I do? I'll run out of time to do my rounds in Kikutsune. Look for him, ask Coco. Ask Coco. Ooh, fiery tales. That's right, I should ask Coco. I'm sure Coco would know where Shirotsky is. Normally, I should have gone back to my duties without trying to go on patrol with Shirotsky. But I knew I should try to keep my promise, so I decided to patrol alone and explain the situation to Coco if I still couldn't find Shirotsky. If I narrow my search, I'll still have time. Although there was still the fear that we could just miss each other if I left this spot. There'd be no end to thinking about what ifs if Coco doesn't know. Oh, there'd be no end to thinking about what ifs. If Coco doesn't know, then I can still ask Tamamo, and there are still others. While thinking of all other ways to find him, I headed for a Takamonomiya to see Coco. And this is like the very similar background. It just gave me Taisho Alice vibes, like the hallway for a second. I mean, it's a different angle, but it's like, I just feel like we're in that hallway. I found Coco immediately after arriving at Takamonomiya. Oh, Coco, hello! Oh, Spacey. I came here hoping to ask you something. Something you wanted to ask? What is it? Today, Shirotsky and I plan to go around Kikutsune together, but he hasn't shown up at the spot we agreed on. I just thought you might know where he might be. Oh, so that's today. And Shiro was so excited talking about going on a date with you. It's not a date, we're just going on patrol. Shirotsky probably misunderstood how to use that word. That's it. So where's Shirotsky now? He's sleeping? Huh? He's sleeping? Is he not feeling well? But I thought Ayakashi don't get sick. He just overslept. He just couldn't get himself up. Shiro's never been great in the mornings. He calls it mornings, but since Sakuratani's always dark, he would be referring to dusk in the real world. Although plenty of time's passed by now. Looking at my device, I saw it was past 10. This is like sleeping until noon for humans. Considering the time, I had to question if the commitment of being not great in the mornings was strong enough to describe what was happening. Sometimes sleeping till noon is nice if you stayed up late the night before. I'm glad he isn't ill or that something bad had happened to him. I'm relieved Shirotsky's alright, although when you have birds, you can't really sleep till noon because then they're covered up and then they're not happy. And then you uncover them, or like what I used to do in my old apartment, I would get up in the morning, uncover the birds, go back to bed. Like when I wasn't working. And then like, or even on weekend. No, because this is when I had Neelix and I was working when I had him. So I would get up like on weekends. It'd be like, all right, 7 a.m., get up, uncover birds, go back to bed, and they were fine. But now, if I tried to do that shit, this motherfucker would scream at me and I'd try to go to sleep and you hear, ah! Oh yeah. He just got fidgety because he's like, what? You're speaking to me? Like, he would scream at me. He would just be shrieking out here screaming. Because he does that now when I'm waking up. I'm like, I hear you. Shut up. I'm getting up. I have to go to the bathroom. I have to brush my teeth, put on my contacts, put clothes on, simmer down. So, like, he would never. And then you'd have to let them out. Little Bird wouldn't give a flying fuck what I was doing. But then Neelix would be, like, sitting there staring at you. And you really shouldn't sleep with birds. Because, like, you can roll over and crush them. So, like, even if I'm napping, like, if I'm laying on the couch, he's sitting usually on top of my head. So I can't move. very, like, I can't really roll around on my couch, but even if I'm in my bed, like, you can't fully sleep. You might be like doze, but then you're like, oh, he just sits on my bookshelf and stares at me, but then I just feel bad. He's just sitting there. And then he does kind of want to jump on you and snuggle, and you're like, I can't like now sleep if you're snuggling on me because I don't want to accidentally crush you. You know what I mean? So you can't, it's very hard to sleep till noon with fucking birds is all I'm saying. Anyway, I'm glad he isn't ill or that something bad had happened to him. I'm relieved Shiratsuki's all right. After Coco opened his eyes in surprise, he quickly gave me a smile. You're such a kind person. Even though he broke his promise with you, you don't get mad, and you even worry about him. Oh, no, it's nothing really. Come with me. I was just about to go wake Shiro up. Coco explained to me this was his 5th attempt by now, begrudgingly walking off. I quickly chased after him and headed toward Shiratsuki's room. Shiro, I'm coming in. On the floor was a rug with a sofa beyond it. It looks like it'd be so comfortable. We were already here, though. But I guess maybe they're just as if you didn't have the prior chapters, maybe? Because you could have, the prior bits could have been with Akuro or whatever, and then you still could have chosen Shiratsuki here. You know what I mean? So. Coco? I know it's a bit late to ask, but was it alright that I came inside? You're here with me, and Shiro's the one at fault for forgetting about his promise with you and staying asleep. Hey, Shiro, get up already. What Shiratsuki was sleeping in was a round bed with a domed canopy. It's like a big kiddie bed. You promised to go on her patrol with her today, didn't you? You can't just break that promise and sleep in. You look so comfy sleeping. Come on, Spacey's even here to get you. Seriously, you have to get up. Hmm? Jeez. If this ain't a CG, Coco just beat him out of bed. Look at him in the background. Shiratsuki looks like he enjoyed that ass kicking a little bit too much is all I'm saying. The look on his face is like, oh, it's great. Oh my god. What the? Coco kicks Shiratsuki, who rolls off the bed. So we went to kicking him. Still perfectly calm, Coco turns back to me. And now he shouldn't go back to sleep. I'll be on my way, so you take care of the rest. Right. Thank you very much. Watching Coco leave the room now had only me and watching Coco leave, the room now had only me and Shiratsuki in it. Ow! Shiratsuki rubs at the part of his body that was hit as he fell off the bed. Shiratsuki? Good morning.
Yes, good morning. I'm sorry to have slept in when I made a promise with you. However, I never thought you'd come all the way here to come and get me.
You still hadn't come even though we agreed to, so I was worried that something might have happened to you. I'm just glad you were simply just sleeping in.
You're not angry. I broke my promise, after all.
I wouldn't get angry about something like this. Everyone oversleeps once in a while. Once in a while. Once in a while.
Something like this, huh? You're quite forgiving, aren't you?
Do you think so? I think it's pretty normal.
Normal, you say? And then allow me to offer my gratitude to your normal forgiveness. And that's right. Would you like some snacks? As an apology for making you waste your time.
Snacks? Well, that's a very tempting offer, but I'm still not on my break yet. I did want to just accept his offer of snacks, but stopped myself after looking at the time.
I think of it like speaking with the Shire as if you were on patrol. Tokitsugu even said interacting with Ayakashi was part of your duties, you know.
Well, that's true. It sounded like an excuse, but I now felt conflicted once my superior's name came up. I knew what Sammy meant about being on duty, but sometimes we're shown a lot of hospitality and entertained when we come to see a Shire. In particular, we essentially always have some sort of girl talk when I go to Tamamo's place. So long as I don't stay too long.
Are you sure? It's a limited time item from a famous shop here called
Kagetoraya? Kagetoraya? Kagetoraya. Yeah, okay. I'll have some. I replied right back to him. In that instant, the words famous shop and limited won over my desire to reason it out.
Oh, I'm glad you're honest. I'll get everything ready, so just wait a moment.
Okay. I was so embarrassed that I lost my appetite. But I do want to try limited time items, and the sweets at Kagetoraya are just so good. Kagetoraya. Yeah. Shinotsky set out a pink-colored yokan, all placed on a small lacquered plate. Set out a pink color. Yokan. Okay. It's such a cute color. I've never seen yokan colored like this before.
Right? I heard that the shop got in some unique sugar and made this with it.
Try some. All right, thank you. I cut off a bite-sized piece of the pink yokan. It's good.
I'm so glad you like it. And let me have a taste. Lovely. I'd expect no less from Kagetoraya.
It's a really refined sweetness. It just sort of expands in your mouth. Oh, it's heaven.
Oh, that's right. Let me pour some tea, too. My apologies for being so inconsiderate.
Oh, no, that's fine, really. Before I even started speaking, Shinotsky began pouring tea for me with practiced motions. Sorry to even have you make tea for me. Thank you. Yeah, we're definitely not ending early. Considering how comfortable the room was, I found myself completely relaxed as I sipped my tea.
It's quite amusing to see you so relaxed when you're always so serious about everything.
I heard Shinotsky mutter, but couldn't pick up what it was since I was so focused on the yokan. Oh, this really is so good.
There's plenty left. Eat as much as you like.
Thank you, but we should leave some for Coco, too.
You're right, but I need to make him apologize for kicking me off the bed earlier. All these spots still hurt from it.
I didn't think Coco would wake you up like that. He always seems so quiet and gentle.
He normally is quiet and gentle, just as you say. Although I know I'm at fault. The way he wakes me up these days is getting rougher and rougher.
Time continued to pass, forcing Shinotsky and me to rush out to get back on my patrol. Getting back to the office late doesn't even need to be said that Sammy and the others teased me as they listened to what had happened. Perfect timing! Oh, we're probably going back to the map, aren't we? Map select 2. Alright, we're probably going back to Shinotsky, I would guess. Yep, okay. I'm just gonna go there. There we go. There we go. Kikutsune with Shinotsky. Yes. Not with Sammy. I picked the wrong person. Alright. Shopping with Shinotsky. Anyway, so we're going to stop here and we will continue shopping with Shinotsky next time. So, yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.